What are you doing? Okay. Oh, okay. So, since you caught me looking, I'm going to turn the camera so you can see the cat butt right here. I have no idea what he's looking at, but Giovanni is focused on something. The window's also really fogged up, so I really don't know what he's looking at. I do hear something peeping right outside the window, so it's probably a bird. They do tend to hang around. The air conditioning unit is right over there, and they do land on the fence around it. So, who knows? I don't know. And that's Giovanni. Dante denied to come in this morning. He's crashed out in the kitchen waiting for something interesting to happen. So, I don't know. All right. Well, it's been a week. I had a really heavy week at work, product-wise, and today is the day we got to go to the gym, which the trainer moved to San Antonio, so we're now doing it on Zoom. So it's been interesting trying to figure out how to do some of the things that he's asking us to do with the limited amount of equipment that we actually own. There was one move where angels I always do with 5 pounds because you just don't need heavy weights because what it moves into. But then he was asking us to do bar ups to Arnold's. Well, 5 pounds is not enough for me to do that. And you had the way that the workout, Tom and I would have been standing around a lot. So I was like, I did it the first time with the 5 pounds, and the second time I tried to figure out if I could hold the 5 pounds and the 2 pounds at the same time. And I got it. I figured it out. So, yeah. But you're not here to listen to me wax poetic about my gym experience. You're here for the hidden power of the Bible. So let's do the housekeeping, especially since Giovanni just gave up on whatever he was watching. And all the... hang on. Oh, sorry. I went to bed too late. My own fault. Housekeeping. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center. The website is creativelife.org. The constant contact email, info@creativelife. That will get you one email a week, tells you what's going on for the weekend and the month, and the hot links are hot. So click here now means it. It is also a blind CC, meaning nobody's going to see your email. You won't end up on anybody else's email list because of us. And when I say one a week, I mean that too. It's a real person doing it. He didn't have time for more than that. The exception would be if something unusual happens. We do live on the Gulf Coast. It is hurricane season. It's most of the time, if you get more than one email, it's weather related. So, because we want everybody to be safe. Now, I'll mention the social medias merely from the standpoint of we do not monetize them. We don't want to deal with the ads any more than you do. So we ask you to go subscribe, follow based on which platform you're on, and then engage with the individual post by reacting to the post, commenting on the post, sharing the post. Bumps us in the algorithm. So a free and easy way that you can support the center is by getting our stuff in front of more people. So there's that. And we are Creative Life Spiritual Center or Creative Life Spark, and I am the running Reverend across all the social medias that I'm on. There is that. You can tell the humidity is really high in my house. They haven't gotten back to us with that fan part yet. So the house is still cool. It's just humid. So kind of like living in a tropical rainforest. In a minute, if I had plants in the house, they would be loving it. But I have cats, so I don't have plants in the house. So I have Lego flowers. Okay. So, Hidden Power of the Bible. Okay. Originally, when this was published, it was called The Bible in Light of Religious Science. So, what Ernest did, and I like to show this side too, is he picked out what he felt were the most relevant. Okay? I would tell you, I think he picked out his favorite passages, but also the most relevant. And so what we've been doing is one day we'll read whatever selections that he's got us reading, and then we'll spend a couple of days talking about it, i.e. what he has to say about them, what I think about them. So we just did what he pulled out his selection from Matthew 7. So today we are probably going to do 2 of them. both of which are reasonable lengths. So, the first one being, judge not that ye be judged. Now, remember when I made a comment yesterday about my note in the margin? Yeah, well, it's not in the margin. It's right across there. Why do Christians think that they are so persecuted? Because Jesus did not teach that they were persecuted, which is, I think, has to do with judge not that ye be not judged. Okay? For with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged. And with what measure you meet, it shall be measured to you again. This statement could come only from one who had deep insight into the universal law of cause and effect, which balances everything and sees that in the long run, everyone receives their just due. The problem is that we want to see it happen. You know, when we've been hurt, we want to see the person who hurt us get their due. And the universe just doesn't work that way. You know, it just doesn't. So, okay, but back to the reading. This is the law Emerson called the High Chancellor of God. The law of cause and effect is the law of perfect balance, of logical sequence and inevitable consequence. Whatever a person sows, they must reap. If they have sown in ignorance, they must reap in like manner. All great spiritual teachers have announced this law and its inevitable consequence. In the teachings of the East, this is known as the karmic law. And karma is both good and it's because you can build up good karma and you can build up bad karma. So when people like to tell you karma is a B, no, you are. Because you are the one creating the ledger that eventually comes and bites you or rewards you. Okay? So, the karmic law. Jesus taught the same law, but under another name and with this difference. The thought of right action. By reversing one's order of thought, desire, and purpose, and thereby establishing a harmonious relationship with the universe, one can transcend, neutralize, or overcome the result of their previous actions. Okay, honestly, karma works the same way. The more good you do, it will outweigh the bad. So the goal is, when you make a mistake, make amends, and then continue to do good. And eventually, so, you know, Ernest, yeah, I've had a couple of good teachers, which is why I'm confident saying that. Ernest may not have been as familiar with the karmic law as I have been taught. In theology, this is known as the remission of sin or divine forgiveness. It is said that this idea of forgiveness is what caused St. Augustine to espouse the doctrine of Christianity. Augustine is his own issue, so, you know. The ethics and morals of Buddhism are as sublime as those of Jesus. See, and here he says, but in the idea of the Buddhist philosophy, a person can never transcend or overcome their karmic law, naturally produced in the psychology. Okay, he's wrong. Ernest is wrong. You absolutely can overcome your karmic debt. Because he says it produced a state of apathy and inaction, which is a logical result of the belief that one must forever suffer from their previous mistakes. Okay? That's not true. It's not true. So we can just forget that whole paragraph. Because this state of inaction is evident in those in who it is. No. I know plenty of Buddhists. That whole thing is wrong. I'm just gonna, yeah. Nope. Wrong. Karma is both good and bad. And the idea is to balance the ledger. And if you go out with more good than you came in with, it improves your chance of reincarnation. And see, that's the part where, because Ernest doesn't believe in reincarnation, that may be where he got the difference. Because karmic law is consequence. If you do bad things will come back to you. If you do good things will come back to you. And so the idea is to do more good than bad, to make amends for the bad that you do quickly. You are going to suffer the consequences of your bad actions. That there is not enough good karma to keep you from suffering from that. Okay? But the good karma, it improves your lot in life. So that's just straight up wrong. Okay. So we're going to move on to transcending one's mistake. The Christian philosophy, which teaches the possibility of transcending one's mistake, produces a psychology of optimism and hopefulness, which finds its logical correspondent in action, progress, and a more rapid evolution of the individual soul. This spirit is apparent among those who espouse the cause of Christianity. Okay. Okay, I'm going to keep going. But the Christian philosophy clearly teaches that the law of cause and effect is immutable and that every person's actions produces an effect in their life which they must ultimately experience unless they transcend the law already set in motion. Such a concept supposes that we are surrounded by a universal law which is entirely impartial and which returns to the thinker the logical effects of their actions. Humanity, being a free agent in this law, whether consciously or in ignorance, is constantly or continuously setting it in motion to some definite end. Therefore, it is true that they must reap what they have sown. With the above stated in mind, let us analyze the meaning of judge not that ye be not judged, for with what judgment you judge, you shall be judged, and with what measure you meet, it shall be measured to you again. This means that life must return to us the manifestation of our motives, thoughts, and desires. Whether those motives, thoughts, and desires were intended for ourselves or otherwise. It means that the thought of judgment, criticism, and condemnation must in time operate against the one who sets it in motion. It is doubtless necessary to the well-being of society that our civil laws be enforced. Else, in our present state of evolution, there would be no protection from those who seek to destroy society. But personal condemnation can be entirely eliminated. People who are filled with personal condemnation have a very limited outlook on life and are greatly to be pitied. Okay. Okay. And he just went, okay, judge not lest you be judged. I think he's going to talk about this for several more little chapters. So I think I'm just going to let that one rest where it is. But it's a reminder of what you put out is what you are going to get back. How you act in the world is how the world is going to act back to you. The law is impartial. The law is neutral. The law is not a thinking thing. It is a mechanical force. It can't look at you and go, are you sure about that? So whatever it is that you put into it is what you are going to get back. So why put in, nastiness and all of that when that's what you're going to get back? It's one of those things, and I said it earlier in the video, the problem is when people do bad things to us or to people that we care about, we want to see them get their karmic justice. We want to see that. And that's just not the way the universe works. And that's one of those things where, yeah, I know that there are people who are hurting other people, and I'm going to do what I can to stop and minimize that as much as possible, because that is my job. But because I am working to stop that, I'm going to sleep well at night. I've known a few people who have hurt other people, and I know that I sleep better than they do. And that is enough for me. If I never see them get the justice that they deserve, it's out of my hands. That is one of those things that I just have to give it up to God and just let it be. And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's hard. And sometimes I'm very human about it. You know? Especially this nonsense going on with immigration policies. You know, a lot of innocent people are getting hurt. And I definitely have very human feelings about this. Which is why I have to do what I can do and then just get a good night's sleep. And know that justice will eventually catch up. And I just got to do what I can to help justice get there a little faster. So, within the bounds of me getting a good night's sleep. So, all right, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to encourage, and like I said, I think he's going to talk about this judge, not least Jimmy Judge, for a few more articles. So, we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. All right, beloved. So, I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, wondrous day, fantastic day, magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a take care of business day. Let's wrap this week up day, a hey, go stare out the window day and watch the birds chirp day, a drink plenty of water day, a be aware of the heat day, a if you get the pop-up showers, dance in the rain if you get them, but stay out of the thunderstorms if you do. Please have good thoughts for the people in Kerrville and Uvalde. The flooding is still very bad, and they're still getting slammed with some of that rain. So, day, yeah. Take care of yourself day, and make sure you make time to sit down and rest day, work out those muscles day, a cuddle your fur babies day, a do something just for you day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, oh, hi, Dante. You just keep trotting in. Yes, baby, come here. Come here. Come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. I got a little bit of a... He's not going to show you those beautiful blue eyes, though. Okay. A good day, and if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. You are a beloved expression of the divine. You are a brilliant light, a divine spark, spirit in motion, God in action, an absolutely beautiful masterpiece, and a work in progress at the same time, at your own pace. As Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godling. So explore the truth of your being, get to know who the divine knows you to be, because the divine knows you to be good. And from there, anything is possible. Anything at all is possible. All right. So the good being all the divine knows, that's the good news. All right. So I'm going to remind you that Reverend David will be on around 5 p.m. with you today. And I will be back with you tomorrow in the 9 o'clock hour, because I do get to go to the park tomorrow. So take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. And I will see you next time.